This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. 11:09 a.m. 43 degrees. Yep, temperature has dropped again. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know, we get these spurts of warm weather, and then it goes away. All right, I'm in position to make my turn out of Costco. So we were talking. I was talking to Costco Mike. Costco Mike does not work there. Costco Mike and Mrs. Mike. And so we were talking about cruise ships because they like to go cruising. I like to go cruising too. It's something. If I had more funds to be able to go out on cruises, I would do it more often. Yeah. If you've never been on a cruise, give it a try one day. Let me know in the comments, have you been on a cruise? And if so, where did you go? And if you were interested in cruising, where would you like to go? Now, for those who do cruising, you might know that there's certain things you got to know about before you go cruising, okay? First off, I'm going to tell you, get travel insurance. Probably the most important thing you can do. Get travel insurance. I know most people don't, but you should, because if something happens while you're out on your vacation, and at worst case, like if you had to be medevaced off the ship, you know how much that would cost you? Make sure the insurance that you buy allows you to get medevaced out, okay? Because you can, I don't know, rack up $40,000-$50,000 if you want to do that. It's not worth it. Get the insurance. Get the insurance, and always travel a day in advance of your trip. Arrive to the port area a day in advance, because you don't want to risk being there on the day of and then missing the ship, okay? That would be really bad. So, yeah, plan that in the cost of the trip. Now, the reason I'm talking about this too, let's see, we're going to run out of right lane again here. I'm going to have to move over. They must be doing some construction stuff or something. Anyways, for your trips, if you do a cruise, all right, my suggestion is remember that there's a thing called ship time and the actual time. If you do like an Alaskan cruise, okay, maybe you're from the Midwest like me. Well, first off, you got time zone changes, right? And then as the ship travels from area to area, the time changes again, okay? The ship doesn't follow that many times. They have their own set time, which they call ship time, okay? So it's, as they go from port to port and the time zone changes, the ship time may not change. And when they tell you you need to be back on the ship by 3 p.m., they're not talking local time. They're talking ship time, 3 p.m., okay? Now, if you're not sure of how to deal with this ship time thing, bring a mechanical watch, all right? Because if you have a smartwatch like mine, it's going to change in your area, right? It's going to change according to the local time. It's not set for ship time. Or, you know, if you have a mechanical watch, you can keep changing your watch every time it changes time zone. But maybe you have a rotating bezel to kind of remind you what the ship time is. You know, you got to have something so you don't end up missing the ship, because they'll leave without you. Now, the thing we talked about was ships usually won't leave you behind if you book an excursion through them. If you book it through the ship, they won't leave you behind, okay? If you book an excursion that's not part of the things that the ship offers, and you don't come back on time, they'll leave without you. Yeah, this is where people, they kind of watch out their balconies and they see if people are running down the pier trying to catch the ship. they'll laugh at them, you know. It's no laughing matter if you're the guy trying to catch to the ship, because they will pull up the plank and then you're out of luck. You know, they'll just leave you there. Yeah, you got to be on time. I'll tell you a story. One time, it was the very first cruise I took. We went up to Alaska, and you know, you have to sign out and sign in essentially, so they know who came in, who came out, right? So you have your ship card that you know, you scan it. Well, apparently they didn't scan me when I came back to the ship. So they thought I was still out there. So on the overhead announcements, I can hear the names being called of the people who aren't on the ship, who should be on the ship, and my name was called. So I went up to the guest services area. I says, you guys called my name? He goes, oh, you are here. I go, oh yeah, I've been here for the last several hours. So apparently, if they don't scan you, or if the scanning didn't work, yeah, they'll call your name out, give you one last chance to get on before it's too late. Well, of course, if they call your name and you're still out on the pier, you wouldn't know it anyway. But yeah, they were calling my name. I said, no, I've been here. I said, you guys didn't scan me in. I've been here for hours. Yeah, make sure you get scanned in, okay? Here's another thing too, for those who like cruising. Make sure when you're on board, okay, here's my suggestion. Usually you can leave your luggage at the pier when you first embark on the ship. You could leave it with them and they'll bring it to you, okay? They'll bring it to your cabin. Many people don't. They wheel it in themselves. The problem with this is that you can't get to your cabin until a certain time, because really, once the last cruise was done and they dropped everybody off, the cleaning crew is cleaning those cabins up, okay? So your cabin may not be ready by the time you board the ship, okay? So they'll tell you, okay, you can enter your cabin at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or 3 o'clock, whatever time they tell you that your cabin's ready. Don't try to sneak in there in advance, all right? Because they're still trying to clean up. They don't want to see your luggage there and everything in advance. So that means you're dragging the luggage around with you. A lot of people try to get on early, right? And then they want to get into the buffet to get something to eat, right? And they're dragging their luggage as they're going through the buffet. Yeah, just leave it with the pier guys and they'll bring it to you, all right? There's no problem with that. What I usually do is I'll leave a Apple AirTag inside there, so I kind of know where my luggage is going to be. Yeah. I mean, if you have carry-on stuff, you can maybe carry that with you, but don't bring the big suitcase with you, okay? Because you're going to be dragging it all over the ship, because you can't get in. You can't get in early, okay? And here's another suggestion for you, too. Skip the buffet. Yeah, on the first day, on embarkation day, if you want lunch, go to the main dining room. Yeah, go to the main dining room. A lot of times people don't know that they can do that. Go there. Okay, go there, because then you're gonna get probably just as good as stuff, if not better. And you just sit down and take it easy. You don't have to, everybody's at the buffet on the first day because they don't know any better. There was a guy, I was on a ship a couple years ago. I think it was his first cruise, and we were at the buffet, and we were making comments that, wow, there's a lot of people here. He goes, oh yeah, there's a lot of people trying to get their stuff. I says, have you gone to the main dining room? He goes, no, I don't want to pay extra. And I told him, I says, the main dining room is not extra. It's included in your fees. Yeah, I says, a lot of times they even offer the same stuff from the buffet. Sometimes they're better, right? I says, go there. I says, it's included. I don't know if he knew it was, and I don't know whether he did after I told him to do it, because I saw him at the buffet almost every single day. I'm thinking, what? This guy doesn't know. Don't miss out. Okay, now here's the thing. If you're in the main dining room, it could take a long time to get your food. So be prepared to hang out there for an hour or two. Now, if you're doing dinner in the main dining room, my suggestion is try to get it as an early dinner, like 5 o'clock or something like that. Because if you do that, then you'll be able to make the entertainment for the evening. And if you go there at the buffet or at the main dining room, tell them you got a show to go to. If you tell them that, they'll bring the stuff out quicker for you. Otherwise, they'll drag it out. Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that we didn't like before was how long it took to get out of the main dining room. I mean, some people like that because it feels like, okay, they're not rushed and everything, but I got things to do. You know, I want to see shows. I want to do things. Hold on. You just sip us that. Tell them you got a show. Now, even if you don't have a show, tell them you got a show. Because then that'll speed them up. I told this story once before. I was on the ship once, and the rest of my party didn't want to go to the main dining room. They just wanted to do the buffet. I said, I'd rather go to the main dining room. He says, okay, you go on your own. So I went on my own. And, you know, after a while, they kind of get to know who you are. And they said, oh, Mr. Russell. They always call you Mr. Russell. You're a Mr. something all the time. Mr. Russell, you're here by yourself. I go, yeah. I says, the rest of my party didn't want to join me, so I'm here by myself. Oh, you know, then they feel bad for you because like, oh, nobody's eating with this guy. So they put me at this table, and then by myself, and other people were watching. And they go, oh, you're here by yourself? And I go, I says, well, for tonight. I says, nobody else wanted to eat with me. But because I was there by myself, man, my food came out really fast. I was in and out of there in like 15, 20 minutes. which shows you that you can get your food real quick if they want to give it to you. But when you got a table of a number of people with you, they let you sit and talk, right? And it could take an hour and a half, okay? So if you're in a rush, just say, hey, you know, I got a show to go to. I didn't tell them I had a show. I just said, no, I'm here by myself. And they felt bad for me. So they brought once I'm done with one course, the next thing came out right away. Okay. That's not always the case in the main dining room. Usually takes a while. All right. Anyways, this is just some tips I wanted to give you in case you do decide you want to do a cruise one day. I like cruising because I don't have to think about it. Yeah. Once I'm on the ship, they drive me where they want to drive me. They bring me there. I don't have to move my stuff out of that room for 7 days. Yeah, it's there. If I'm tired, I just go upstairs, take a nap. You know, you can do whatever you want. So, and I do bring my mobility scooter with me on the cruise. Yeah, because that's a lot of walking. Cruise ships are huge. It's a lot of walking. So I scoot everywhere. And then when I'm in the restaurants or whatever, I'll usually park it to the side. And then I just walk in, you know, do my thing, and then I jump on the scooter and then scoot out of there. A lot of people do it. Believe me, it's not unusual. So if you have problems with mobility, yeah, bring a mobility scooter. Or you can rent one. Yeah, they rent them to you too. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm pretty good on my scooter because I've had it for so many years. So I scoot pretty quickly. Yeah, some people are not the greatest scooters. Run into walls or something. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys for today. If you've been on a cruise before or thinking of going on a cruise, let me know. Yeah, let me know where you're going to go or where you've been, and if you had a good time on it or if it was a nightmare for you. Hopefully it wasn't a nightmare. Talk to you guys next time. Hit the like and subscribe button too.